Hi, my name is Zafania and this is my podcast Threads of Time. If you're a new viewer, welcome. This is episode 7, 8, something like that. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. As you can see, we're in a new location. This is my bedroom. I thought I would try this out because it gets quite good window light, so I wouldn't have to use my ring light, which I find is really hard on the eyes. I don't know how these makeup YouTubers do it with the like 3 box lights and it's lit. My eyes start to water and I find it very uncomfortable with one single ring light, so yeah. But yeah, I think it looks okay. I'm looking at the viewfinder. Hoping I can look at you right here today and be a good YouTuber. I don't know. I did my hair, even though we're in lockdown. It's probably the tightest set I've done in a while, so I'm really happy with it. It's very bouncy. Yeah, but I will start off with finished objects. So, as I'm sure you're probably not surprised if you watched the previous episode, I've finished the number 7 sweater. So I'll add a photo here so you can actually see it on. It's just a black blob and just a black blob. What a surprise. I have worn it like once, but it's spring now here in Australia, so we're having a few warm days, but not too many, so I think I should still be able to get a couple of weeks wear out of it. My other finished object is my 1940s skirt. I'm wearing it at the moment, so I just stand up a little. You can't really tell anything really, but it's about knee length. I have to put it on over my head because I can't get it over my hips, but I'm not surprised. The things I changed in the pattern were I did a folded hem instead of a crochet edge, and I also did about 2 inches of ribbing at the top that has an eyelet just before the cast off. So I'm going to thread a ribbon through the eyelets so that I can tighten it kind of like a drawstring. What else? I have been diligently knitting on my stripy jumper. So I've finished the front and back. And I've sewn them together. This was my first time doing a mattress stitch seam, just so that I could get the stripes aligned as well as possible. And yeah, in the pattern it says to just join the 2 fronts and the 2 backs, but I went ahead and joined them all together because I figured that way I could just pick up the ribbing, which is the next step, I guess. Pick up the ribbing and just knit the ribbing all as one rather than having to sew them up. I don't really like sewing up ribbing. And then I have a sleeve which I've sewn together, so you just undo this. You knit this in 2 as well and then you sew it together. So yeah, hopefully as I edit this video I can add a picture of me I guess wearing it with one sleeve attached to the body. but we'll see. I have the one more sleeve left. I have to do the waistband, the collar, and then I need to insert the zipper. This has a zipper straight down here. And yeah, it's going well. It's going well. I haven't cast on anything new, which I normally allow myself to do when I have cast off a project. And I've cast off 2. But I figured that I would try and do some more work on Josh's jumper, which I did pick up, but I noticed it had a drop stitch, so I tinked back a little bit to pick it up. And yeah, I think I might alternate working between this one and my stripy one, just because I'm feeling like I need a project that is a little bit heavier weight, and this is DK. Another project I pulled out of hibernation is my sock. So I'm at the point where I need to do the heel. It has a few drop stitches. I'm at the point where I need to do the heel, and that's where it stopped, because I always feel like I'm going to need time to just sit down and knit the whole entire heel, because I'm doing a heel flap, and I've only ever done a heel flap one other time, and so I'm not really the greatest sock knitter, although I'd like to be. I'm using Summer Lee's free pattern, her free vanilla sock pattern, and I really like all of her patterns because she aims for, I think, a 40 stitch per 10 centimeters, so the stitches are just so small, and yeah, I really like that. I've knit a few socks, I think like 3 pairs, and I don't like the texture of them on the bottom of my foot, so they're not really my go-to socks. And I would like to knit socks I actually enjoy wearing in shoes. I generally wear the socks I've knitted mostly around the house. When I did work, I did wear them sometimes to work in boots, but not frequently. So yeah, I'm gonna try and do that heel flap, and then I might cast on another pair of vanilla socks. I have another indie dyed self-striping gobstopper in my stash that I've been wanting to use, so I might do that. I guess one of the reasons why I haven't cast on anything new is I'm feeling a bit stuck as to what to cast on next. Since the weather is starting to get better, half my brain is like, well, there's no point knitting anything in wool because you're not going to be able to wear it. And then the other half of my brain is like, yeah, but it takes you like 3 months to finish a jumper. So if you start now, then by the time it gets to cold again, you'll be able to wear it. So yeah, I'm sure lots of people feel like that when the weather starts turning into spring. In terms of my Make 9, I have skeined up some yarn. So I have this yarn by Louie and Lola. It's a Tasmanian dyer, but I really like. It's their merino yak silk base. Can't quite remember the colorway, but it's probably like silver birch, something like that. And this one I bought to sew up the Lorelei. I'll add a little picture and who it's by and everything. And because like this yarn is quite, doesn't feel super warm, I think that I would still be able to get somewhere out of that jumper. And I know I would like it because I have the Not a Boring sweater, and I really liked that sweater, and they're similar shapes, although the Not a Boring sweater doesn't fit me anymore, and I really want to knit another one of those. So yeah, skeined up this. I really like the kind of silvery blue colour, very neutral. And then I also have skeined, balled up, I guess, probably the right word to say, the yarn from Virtual Yarns for the Elizabeth of York vest. I really need to swatch this, but I think a part of me is nervous about swatching and then not having enough yarn to finish the project, which is silly. And I did start swatching, but I got to an instruction that I didn't quite understand, but I think I have now. You have to make this tiny little bobble, and I didn't quite grasp the instructions because it's a confusing one for me. It's like, yeah, so I have that. And then I have had this wound up for ages. This is for the Antiquity Blouse, so I could cast on that. I need to swatch for all of these, so I might end up swatching and then just, I guess, seeing what grabs my attention. Personally, I believe that she originally had this as a part of her like spring summer collection, maybe, the Antiquity Blouse, but mohair in summer in Australia is not going to work. Definitely not going to work. So this would be more of a early spring, late summer, early autumn kind of top, but I have really wanted to knit it up for a long time. So, and then I have these cotton balls from Bendigo Woolen Mills. They're both in an 8-ply. So I purchased the Simplistic Rib Cami by Leah. So I thought I could use these for that. I definitely am lacking tops like that in my wardrobe, so I thought I'd do that, and it being a 1x1 rib is really super easy. I have used this yarn before in a different pattern that I didn't like, so I might also have a cream ball, but I need to rip out that project because I'm just never gonna wear it. But yeah, so that's that. And as you can probably understand, I'm torn as to what to cast on, and they all need to be swatched for, so I'm just gonna need to sit down one day and swatch everything so that I can knit. Oh, and these are 200-gram balls, so I think it's the perfect amount for the camisole. Let's grab a tea. Oh. Since we've been in this 6th lockdown here in Melbourne, I have been indulging in a little eBay. So I like to find my own vintage patterns, so I don't mind buying them as PDFs off Etsy and things, but it's nice to always have a copy, physical copy yourself. So I've been getting a few patterns, which has been fun. There is one, and I bought it just for this robe. Can't really see. So it's a knitted robe, and it looks super sweet. There's a little drawing of it. And because on the listing it didn't have like the information of the pattern, I was praying that it was not going to be in a 4-ply yarn, but it's not. It's in about a 10-ply, 4 stitches per 1 inch. So that suddenly went on my list. I think it would be super cozy to have a knitted robe. And if you saw my last video, you know I like a good vintage robe, so yeah. Yeah, I got some other Sun Glow ones because they have a few dress patterns in there that I really like. I mean, look at this one. Does she not, there we go. Does she not look like such an Australian gal? I just get Aussie vibes, and Sun Glow is an Australian, well, was an Australian yarn brand. So yeah. Oh, this one at the back, those lines, they're knitted with intarsia. Imagine that, how many bobbins you would need to knit that. Oh, crazy. I also got some Vogue knit ones. I mean, I have a whole collection. So this just has my, I guess, distinctly 50s and down. So I do have some 60s and 70s patterns, but I keep them separate from my distinctly 50s and 40s ones. But yeah, I still want to do a knit along for a dress, but I don't think I'm going to be ready for it for a little while. So when I've decided what, and I might put up a post on my Instagram and things like that. Oh, I need to change sitting positions. Since we've been in a lockdown, I have been watching a lot of podcasts, so I thought I'd talk about some ones I've been enjoying and some new ones that I've found. So I guess one that is very new is the Madeful podcast. So it has Bethany from Woolberry Fibre Co in it. I used to watch her podcast when she did it by herself, but now she's doing it with her sister Elise. So I have been enjoying their making. Who else? There's also Simple Knit Co. She's also an Australian knitter. I've watched a few of her. I think in the first lockdown I started watching her, so another one popped up in my timeline. So I've been watching her a little bit. Probably going to catch up on all the episodes I've missed recently. And yeah, I think that's it. I thought maybe as something fun I would go through my knitting pattern collection, the vintage ones, and put up some highlights on my Instagram, just so that other people can, I guess, get inspired by wonderful vintage knitting patterns. But yeah, let me know what you think I should knit next, what I should cast on. Should I cast on anyway, as I was saying, let me know what you think I should cast on, what you think I might cast on next. Let's play a little guessing game down in the comments. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe if you'd like, all that jazz, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.